Dear diarrhea. Diarrhea full of shit. Just play along with myself and I. Nobody else. Yo, so legit. I just happened to be up. I went to bed fairly early because it was kind of like raining and the wind was blowing, and I wanted to capitalize on that. It was quite marvelous. Open the window. Got the little fan on the windowsill to draw the air in. And sometimes I just leave it at that. Sometimes I just use the little fan. Sometimes I just use the ceiling fan. Sometimes I use both. Tonight I used both. Because the little fan draws the air in, more so than just having the window open by itself. With the ceiling fan, moves the air around in the room. It's not directly overhead, it's in the center of the room, but you can still feel the air blowing down on you, so it's nice. But yeah, it rained for a bit. Then it kind of stopped, and then it picked up again, and you could hear it, on the side of the house, so it was nice. And the wind's kind of been blowing off and on all day yesterday and through the night now. So it kind of makes me think about my future boo thing and me, my future wife, Sleepy Butt, the cringe tart extraordinaire ASMR artiste. So, oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah, I've decided she's gonna be my future wife. Why not? God, she's just so elegant. It's amazing how that works out, Like, I never noticed she was so fucking beautiful. She's so pretty. No, she's more than pretty. She's beyond that. But, and she's just got that look, So, she's popping. She doesn't need much makeup or anything, just a little. She does it just how I like it. It's almost like it's fake. Just a little bit around the eyes, accentuates the eyes, the eyelashes, perhaps, maybe depends on what, and that's pretty much it. So, her body's on point, She's a plicky-plack little thing. So, got the cute little mouth. So, and she appears to be getting better at the ASMR stuff. So that's a plus, because we'll be doing that. That'll be like a thing we do. Maybe we'll do ASMR videos together. She'll draw shit on my back and whatnot. Just whatever. I'll get her squared away. With my help, she could be amazing. So, just whatever it is, just, Because like I said, humans. It's like, well, you got the right idea. Let's just go about it this way a little bit, huh? There you go. Anyway. But yeah. Went to the chiropractor today. There was a lady there with a little baby. It appeared to be a little girl, like a little infant in a little carrier. It had a yellow bow on one side of its head. I saw a baby there. I could just see the top of the head. It had like a red bow on the top of the head. This one had a yellow bow on just one side. It was looking around. Babies look so fresh and so clean and so new. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. So, they're just so little and shit. And they walked out, and then this mom walked in, probably a single mommy. I don't know why I think that. I just do. I mean, it was a Monday, afternoon, so Papa Bear, who knows what the deal is, but the kid was probably probably about 5 or so, and he had on like a vest, and he was done up like a cowboy with a little cowboy hat that was like fit for him, and anyway. You could tell he was a little special. So he must have watched some movie or something. He was dressed up as a cowboy. And it probably wasn't John Wayne. Our little Ollie is going to be watching John Wayne movies. He will, yep. And I'm going to watch him with him. And like I said, I'm going to point things out. See that there? That's Liberty Vance. Yeah, he's the protagonist. Or, no, he's the antagonist, I think, And he won't know what the fuck I'm talking about, And I'll have my arm around him, hold him on my lap, and I'll kind of like point, and see there, and then I'll, put my arm back on his shoulder or whatever. Or whatever, it's just dumb. But I'm listening to myself say this shit, but it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a really critical time, in our life. And even when they're in the womb, you're supposed to read to them, and stuff. They can hear it, And that shit matters, obviously your diet, and your stress levels and what you do, it's muffled, I would imagine. But, if you're at some sort of party or whatever, the baba picks up on that. So, our little Ollie, like as soon as, the, lump starts to, develop, it's a little fetus, okay, well, even then, I guess. You and I both, future fiancé of mine, wife, and all that. It's no wonder chickens get the baby rabies, when they're in their upper 20s. I think it's genetic, too. It's the way they're wired. So, like all of a sudden, they could be like this party animal, type girl. Like even if they go the strong, independent, businesswoman route or whatever, it's like, even then, they're sitting at their desk or whatever. They're mixing up some wax. And they're thinking, So, anyway. And they have like more of a connection, they're the mother, the mother instinct. mama bear, you know. Plus they bake the bread, you know. They carry the baba, you know, for 9 months. So anyway, it's much stronger, you know. A guy isn't, you know, at work, you know, welding shit, you know. Welding some piece of heavy equipment, you know, old school, big old thick fucking, you know, arc welder. Sparks flying everywhere, you know, lighting up the whole corner of the shop, you know. You know, it lifts up his helmet, you know, and he's eating lunch out of his steel lunchbox or whatever, and he's thinking to himself, "Gosh," or maybe he is. I don't know. But by the way, I'm gonna be getting doors on my shed here. I guess is a Christmas gift. See, because they're industrial sized doors, so they don't have them in stock, so they have to make them. So it kind of takes a bit, but that'll be nice. I can get shelves out there and get the shop, you know, up and running, and you know, just in time for spring and summer. Yeah. Give me a bunch of woodworking, you know, saws and stuff. Start welding. Get the hoist out there. Get, you know, a full set of tools out there. Mechanic tools. Carpenter tools. And off to the races. I picked up a bunch of, there was some wood on the side of the road, and I picked it up. There's a good looking wood. 2x4. Couple 2x4s. 1x2. And like a 2x8. It's like a plank. And I'm gonna have that in the shed, you know, different like boards and stuff they'll have their own spot. You know, I'll have plywood. And I won't necessarily. I'll just have a little bit, just like on stuff. You know, I'll have like, you know, 5 pieces of plywood. You know, particle board or whatever. Well, that's different, I guess. Whatever. Look, I've talked about that before. I'm gonna have, you know, hoses and chains and cable and different size, and a machine to, you know, clamp it, you know, if I need to make, you know, something out of a cable, you know, to hold something up, you know. Like I said, that dude there was a part, they didn't have it, and this old dude, just like my future bestie said, you know, the old dude with the gray mustache, you know, with the apron, he just made that fucking part. And from that day on, I was like, dude, this guy. And my granddad was like that too, but that was like a defining moment. Well, so was my dad, but I was like, shit, man. That's, you know, so that's what I'm having in my shop. But I don't want it to look like a parts store. But yeah, if I need a section of chain or something, boom, I got it. You know, if I need some hose, okay, boom, I got it. Different, you know, gauges of wire and shit like that. Within reason, you know, I'll just be on a coil, you know. Oh, you know, and I'll be able to, you know, just do stuff. Have options. Like I said, though, no sheetrock, though, because that's kind of like, I mean, it's going to be indoors, but I just don't see me ever. Maybe I'll have like 1 or 2 pieces. So, well, you know, I don't know. You know, like if the kids are roughhousing, you know, and they accidentally put one of them through the wall, you know, and you got to replace an entire section, you know, or it's a big enough hole where you can't just, you know, plaster over it. I'll just go buy a piece, you know. But no need to get too crazy with the cheese whiz, you know. Because I've talked about that before, you know, like stocking parts, you know, for, well, within reason, you know, like brakes and whatnot, automobiles. But again, you got to kind of, you don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? It's like, well, when it's time, if your brakes are worn out, then go buy some brake pads, you know. Do I really need to, you know, keep, you know, 2 oil filters for every vehicle that I own in my shed? Eh, I guess I could, you know, air filters. It's just the basic stuff, you know what I mean? So, well, no. So, I don't know. Anyway. But some things are a little harder to come by, you know, like tractor parts, lawnmower parts. Then, yeah, okay. Or, you know, I don't know, because like I said, you know, oh shit, you know. So what I think in terms of like, you know, the '79 Jeep and the '79 Mustang, you know, to me it's like, yeah, that's not really that old, but I forget it's 2025 and the world is occupied by incompetent modern people. 1979, is that even a year? Does that even exist? What do you mean 1979? Which is weird. I just stumbled across those 2 vehicles that were the same year. So, must be fate, but 1979 isn't a significant year for me in any way, shape, or form, so I don't know. But anyway. What else? 17 and a half minutes. Oh man, I guess Gene Hackman. I need to look more into this. I'm gonna post this. I'll post. I don't know what I'll do, but man, like I said, modern times. Same thing with um, Tom Hanks. They're painting him as a pedophile. Where are these people getting this shit? I guess his list was on the. His name was on the that. What was his name? Epstein list. Well, just because you're on the list doesn't mean, you know, you participated in shit. Maybe you didn't know what you were getting into. Maybe you wasn't in an island. So even if you like went to the island, maybe you're like, whoa, Jack. Kind of like Diddy, you know, and like, what was it, Denzel Washington? He was like, fuck this, I'm out of here, you know. I just, you know, people, it's just the way it is, you know. You just get to plaster shit, you know, with deep fakes, you know, with voices and people. There was this one dude, this video from Asmund Gold, you know, the Zelensky Trump, what have you, where it was like them talking, but then it was like them like fighting, you know, and it looked pretty good, you know what I mean? So, you know, we're entering some bad shit here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But it said something in quotes, you know, he's a psychopath. And it was like 10 minute, it was a 10-minute video. And I watched 9 minutes of it. And at that point I was like, okay, I've seen enough. So maybe I need to watch that last minute. And it showed like this tunnel, like full of bodies and shit. And it's because I guess there was some sort of tunnel, and I don't know what the deal is. I guess he died. He was 95 years old, but it was kind of mysterious circumstances or something. I need to look more into it. But I'm thinking, what the fuck? Why would you do that to Gene Hackman? Because Tom Hanks, he kind of screwed the pooch when he did that MAGA skit. And he did that back in 2016, but now I guess people aren't taking it as lightly. And I think he honestly probably just did it to be funny. It was a bad move. I wouldn't have done it if I were Tom Hanks. I would have said, "Look, I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to insult half the damn country. Sorry, count me out. I know I did it in 2016, but I'm not doing it now." But he opted to go for it. He's an older dude. What is he? Probably in his like 50s or 60s. He's old as fuck and whatnot. And now they just want to destroy him. And same thing, I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but I just thought, you fucking son of a bitch. And he did things when you listen to it, like kind of to make it longer, to make it seem more legitimate. He's showing pictures and whatnot that are just not related because they don't really have shit. And I guess the authorities are being kind of vague about it, but I'm gonna have to watch that again, and I might actually report that. You know, and I'll report the other ones about Tom Hanks. It's like you've got him. It's like his picture, and he looks all creepy and shit. Yet you didn't mention him in this thing. Now, I've never done that. I generally don't thumb videos down. Not that it matters, but sometimes I do. If I accidentally stumble across like some video game that I thought was like legitimate gun camera footage, and it turns out it's just some fucking faggot soy boy, posting his video game exploits or whatever you'd call it. Then I thumb that down. Big whoopty-woo. But yeah, I'll report it, for false shit. You made it out, the picture. And I also do that with clickbait if it doesn't actually show it. And I guess they're picking up on that you don't see that as much anymore. So apparently other people are doing it to the degree where these people are making these videos and the picture isn't included in the video, like funny fails or whatever. Apparently that's pisses enough people off en masse that they're getting, and it's usually like at the very end, but at least, you know what I mean? So, and, I'm hip to the game, as a lot of people are. Anything that says watch to the end, I don't. You just sort of get a sense, for shit. And I don't. I mean, big deal, right? But I don't. That's my little drop in the bucket. No, I'm not gonna watch your video. You're putting out a vibe, you have a style, you know what I mean? So, your picture, and all that stuff. The thumbnail that they use. Watch till the end. Nope. You just guarantee that I'm not gonna watch it at all. So, because that's how life works, you know what I mean? Just sort of, no, I've seen this situation before. It happens with anything, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm up here. I'm probably watching me some ASMR since I'm up. And go back to sleep. Think about holding my future boo thing. I wish it rained more in Colorado. I wish it did. But wonder where my boo thing lives at. I don't think she lives in Colorado. I don't know. She's got a dog. At least it's a little one. It's very well behaved. Seems kind of young. Seems kind of playful. Like it's either, a younger dog or like middle age. So, because sometimes she'll like get her hands moving around and it'll like start, doing that play thing that dogs do. Very well behaved dog. Very calm. cats and a lot of stuff. Anyway, future's so bright, gotta wear shades. But in the meantime, I am so alone.